tape it, and then take questions. Coach?
Yeah, I mean, really hard-fought game tonight. Obviously, both teams a little undermanned. They're missing Klesmet, who's a big piece to their team. Obviously what we went through this week, trying to get our guys healthy. We lost a couple guys during the game with Roper, and then Ty Berry kind of rolled an ankle as well. So it was just kind of a war of attrition, really, with both teams. I thought both teams showed a lot of grit, a lot of heart. Both teams really, wasn't the prettiest at times, but really proud of my team tonight. I thought we gutted it out. We found the baskets when we needed it. We had a ton of foul trouble along the way. Obviously not having a lot of practice time this past week, just trying to get guys healthy and being able to feel the team. Just a really big win for us, and obviously, we appreciate Wisconsin. We appreciate Iowa. It's not an easy situation. Obviously Nebraska as well, for their willingness to I think everybody understands that kids want to play, and the most important thing is we figure out fairly how to get these games in, and I think I appreciate those teams, for their willingness to kind of move around a little bit and to make sure that these kids get to play, because that's what they want to do. They're playing college basketball and they want fans. They had to. All these kids had to play a year, where they had to play with nobody in the gym. You guys weren't here. That was really hard on these guys. So you want these kids to play in front of fans, not in front of an empty gym. And so the fact that our people were able to come out and give these guys a good atmosphere to play in, just really proud of my team. We got to move on. Obviously we got a quick turnaround. We're traveling tomorrow, heading to Nebraska, and they've been really good at home. So it's going to be another tough test here in 48 hours.
Coach, Blue looked a little uncomfortable in the games opening minutes. He had that three that kind of grazed off the front of the rim that looked like you said something to him. Can you speak to his response, after that moment, how he kind of let this team make this?
Yeah, I just think the great thing about Boo is how much he's matured, in his career. Being a senior now, early in his career, he was easily rattled. He was easily, and he'd be the first to tell you that. He was easily rattled, maybe by tough coaching, maybe by a tough whistle or not making some shots. And you grow through that. And, he's just been solid as a rock for us. And obviously, there's a lot on his plate and Chase's plate. We're asking these guys to not only play lockdown, grind it out, physical defense, but they got to make a lot of our plays, and they're in a lot of the actions. And even if they're not getting the shots, they're being involved triggers, other stuff. So, to be in the kind of shape you got to be in, heavy minutes, all those things, just couldn't be prouder of him, the way he kind of fought through that and played tonight. And I mean, look, Chase plays 38 and a half minutes. He plays 36 and a half minutes. I mean, that's pretty incredible, the way teams come after those guys, to then be able at the end of games still to be ready to make plays at the end.
There was a stretch early in the second half where it seemed like Wisconsin took 4 possessions in a row, 3 from the exact same spot.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how you adjusted out of that and kind of counteracted that?
Yeah, they were doing a really good job. I thought our energy level was a little low, and that's not to discredit them. They know we try to, because of kind of lack of front court depth and things, we try to give a lot of help when the ball goes inside, and they're a heavy post team. And Crowell and Wall are terrific players, and not only to get their own, but they're really good passers. And I thought our double teams weren't as good as they needed to be, not as energetic. I thought we came down with not enough force. They were able to split us and find the guy in the opposite corner and the opposite side. Our rotations weren't as dialed in. And, we just tried to compact our defense a little bit, not get as strung out. I thought we got a little bit fortunate. They got some looks maybe that they normally make. I thought Hepburn had a couple that, were clean. Asijan had a couple were clean that we got a little bit of a break on those, but that happens at times. And I just thought we were wearing down a little bit. I just thought they were finding momentum. I took 2 timeouts in that stretch, which normally you would kind of hold your timeouts for the last 4 minutes, but I just felt the game was kind of slipping. Our energy was slipping. Ty had then rolled his ankle. We put Nick Martinelli in the game, who hasn't played in quite some time. I thought he gave us really good energy and burst. And I thought Brooks Barnheiser's energy, I thought those 2 guys in particular gave us a little bit of energy and a burst when we needed it to kind of get us back going again.
Chris, I know this is not what you want for your schedule with all these games bunched up, but could it be a benefit to your team in the long run?
Well, I think you always have to look at everything optimistically. You can look at it negatively, but I don't think that helps. And the fact of the matter is, I said to the team, a couple days ago, or even yesterday when we got home, I said, "Listen, guys, we're going to play 6 games in 13 days. It is what it is. We have, we have to be able to get these games in, and everybody wants to play. And I asked them if they'd rather have practice on those days. And it's a resounding no. They want to play games, and also for these guys, you tell them, look, if you aspire to play, after here, look at the schedule of what a G League player does, or an NBA player, or overseas. You got to play back-to-backs. You got to travel. You got to be ready to play. So that's part of it. It's like I said, I appreciate Nebraska being willing to then move this next game. I appreciate Wisconsin. It wasn't an easy puzzle to try to put together. It's never easy, especially because everybody's schedules are so jam-packed, and so to try to work things around and TV and all those things, it's not an easy puzzle. So I think everyone's on the same page. They want the players to play, and because the players want to play, that's what they work hard for, and I'm thankful that we were able to find the solution to get the games in.
To the middle.
Coach, I got two for you. One, you have an update on Julian's ankle, and two, with being off for 8 days now, and the guys, some of them being ill and all, did you notice any difference in fatigue level or anything like that as they had to play now, especially Buie and Chase having to go 38 and 36 minutes?
First on Julian, no update yet. It's an ankle issue. Got to get the proper testing. The medical team's on it. Are as good as it gets in terms of training staff, doctors, all those things. We'll know more probably tomorrow once we find out exactly what we're dealing with. I thought it was a bummer because I thought he actually gave us a huge lift early. He got a steal on a breakaway, hit a big three. I thought he came in and was really helping us. We don't have a lot of depth, so losing him was a big loss. Hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later. From a fatigue standpoint, I definitely noticed it. Guys, if you don't have the ability to practice and, conditioning goes quick. I remember when I played, if I didn't do anything for like 2 days, then you start to feel that conditioning go a little bit. We had almost a week stretch, where we couldn't have proper practice time and didn't have a full roster of guys. So obviously that was a factor. And the way Wisconsin plays, it's a physical game. So give them credit. Crowell, Hepburn, well, they put physical pressure on you on every possession with their post ups and their back down game. And so our guys hopefully will sleep well tonight. There's some tired guys in there, some banged up guys, but we got to move on. It's a big-time win for us. Any win is. I think you guys are seeing in this league. We say it all the time, but if you can win at home or on the road against anyone in this league, you got to enjoy it because the wins are really, really hard to come by.
Coach, that was the last 3 minutes of the game. You all held Wisconsin to not score any buckets, just free throws, and then also you all converted your free throws. Can you talk about, the team kind of just clutching up in that last stretch?
Yeah, it's something we've really addressed. Even the Indiana game when we won, they scored 20 points in the last 4 minutes, and we held on and won. But we were up 13 like that. We just let off the gas pedal defensively in that game, and we able to win the game by 1 point. The Rutgers game, they scored on 5 of their last 6 possessions in the game. So we had the 4-point lead with a minute and change to go, but we couldn't get any stops. And, we tell our guys all the time, even if you don't score, if you're getting stops, you can still win the game. And I thought we had a couple really good possessions in the last 2 minutes. We got the ball to Chase, which we wanted. We thought it was a good matchup. We got him to his right hand. He had his 2 kind of signature pull-ups right from the elbow. That's the shot we wanted. He wasn't able to make them, but the great thing about it was we got back and we got stops. And, I thought obviously Hepburn missed a couple of those. The one step back on the baseline was pretty clean. I actually thought the one was going in, when we were right in front of their bench from about 30 feet and we were all over it. From my vantage point, I'm like, man, this guy's going to throw it in. That's what he does. So to be able to play good defense in the last 3 minutes was something we've really addressed in film work and practice and as we've gone through these games. And it was good to see us kind of do a better job of that tonight.
Just to follow up, Coach, going back to the minutes that Buie and Chase played, I remember after the Michigan game, you talked about you felt like the guys just were tired in the second half. Can you talk about even just those two, their guard play, not only for the team, but the whole entire game?
Yeah, I'd like to rest them more, guys. I really would, but I tell them a couple times during the game, I'm like, guys, you just get to the media timeout. They're like, there's no subs for you, man. You gotta just play, which hopefully every player enjoys. When I played, I never wanted to come out either, but It's very taxing. That's why it's really important for these guys in between games, the way they take care of themselves, the way we manage them in between games, with their practice time, with their treatment, all those kind of things. Because we need them to play. Like, we need them both to play well. Like, tonight we don't win the game if they don't both play well. And like I said, they're responsible for, even when they don't score, a lot of the shots we get is because guys are playing off them.
To the back.
Coach, on Monday night after the scheduled game, what did it mean to have Wildside come out in a pretty full force with kids running from classes and all?
It was awesome, man. It was awesome. So thankful. I want to thank them for that. A 5:30 game's not the easiest, especially with classes. Guys, people have schedules, all those kind of things, and it matters. Like we talk about these guys getting a little tired in the game. I think that's where your crowd can really help you, when you feel that energy, when you feel those students, have your back, and really then you can find kind of that extra gear you need. So we need them. Continue. We'll be back next Saturday. We got a big game on Wednesday at Nebraska, but we need them on Saturday morning to keep helping us as we have these big games in the league.
To the left.
Yeah. Can you talk about a little bit having to manage all the foul trouble in the second half, particularly putting Matt back in the game with about, I think it was like 5:48 in the clock?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a tough dynamic because Wisconsin is so physical, and all of a sudden Titus fouls out in 5 minutes. So now he's out. Robbie, who was, I thought trying to fight, but very undermanned, trying to play against Crowell down there. We were very small. It hurt us on the boards. It was hurting us. Matt then picks up his fourth. We're trying to juggle that a little bit. It wasn't, as a coach, that's not a fun position to be in, because you're trying to really manage fouls, manage conditioning, manage fatigue, all those things. Fortunately, Matt came back. I tell you, Matt's free throws when it was tied, I forget, maybe 61 all or whenever it was. I forget exactly when it was. I knew it was under 5 minutes in the game where it was a tie game, and he got fouled on a 1-and-1. And, he's had his struggles at the line, and he walked up and I thought made 2 huge free throws to put us up 2 there. So give him credit for being able to finish the game. Obviously, we made it a little interesting there with the foul, but fortunately, we were able to get the win there at the end.
Last question, Gavin.
Coach, Wisconsin shot over half of their shots from beyond the arc. Was that something you guys were expecting? And how did you guys adapt to that?
Yeah, well, they shoot a lot of threes as it is. I think in general, though, if you guys see, we do a lot of trapping of the post. So it's very hard for, like, Wisconsin, they like to really back you down and play off the dribble in the post, wall and crowd really good and get to their shots. And we tried to make a conscious effort to take some of that away. We wanted to take away their deep post-ups, their extended dribble post-ups. We wanted to get the ball out of their hands. I thought at times it was pretty good, and at times they did a great job of kind of picking it apart and finding the threes. But you're going to give something up if you do that. And we chose, we wanted to save foul trouble, so it didn't really work in terms of the fouls. But, we felt like our best bet was to try to take away their low post stuff and try to do our best to contest their threes and then, rebound them when they missed.
All right, that'll wrap us up. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate you coming. Thanks.
Chase Audige and Buie, who are any questions about these players? In the back?
Yeah, hi guys. Over this past 8 days, how did you guys keep yourself locked in and prepared, not knowing when was going to be the next time you guys would step out on the court?
I think we just kind of took it with every step. You know, it's obviously unfortunate what happened, but we just took it day by day. Like, we got in the gym, worked, try to keep our conditioning up, and just, you know, attack it like we attack any other day. You know what I mean? I don't think we try to make anything else. Start the game was a little winded because we haven't played in a week, but we pulled it out. So.
Yeah, I think just going off that, we were just focused on getting our guys healthy, making sure everybody on the staff and on the team were healthy, you know. And then the guys that could do stuff, you know, we were just coming in the gym, like Chase said, getting better and just waiting for that next opportunity to play.
Can you speak to to Wisconsin's physicality defensively in the half court, like how y'all responded as the game wore along?
I mean, yeah, you know, Wisconsin is always physical, especially like in their ball screens. They do a good job of trying to get over the ball screen because their bigs are playing drop. So, you know, they got to do a good job of doing that. But, you know, Wisconsin's always the defensive-minded team. But you just got to stay poised and read the game.
Boo, can you just talk a little bit just on what was probably arguably the key point in the game, that your assist to Brooks on that layup? You seemed kind of trapped in the corner. What did you really see there? And what do you think Brooks did well to kind of like get open?
Yeah, I mean, and one of the timeouts before that, we were just talking about how when guys are getting downhill and if they get to 2 feet and are stuck, you know, you can't stand and watch them. You got to cut and move, and that's what Brooks did for me. I was in a position where I could have been stuck, and he was able to cut and get open and free me up.
Coach, your coach talked about how, you know, you all have, or at least you two have to carry the load at least, you know, with the scoring wise, and then minutes wise, you both played nearly the whole entire game, and even the front court getting into foul trouble. Can you go talk about you know, leading the way and even just like a back and forth battle like today was?
I think it's just what comes with, you know, me and Boo being seniors. We've been here for a while. You know, our team and coaches trusting us to make the plays down the stretch, and us trusting our teammates to, you know, trusting everybody in the program to do what we got to do. And we all could hoop. Like, you know, like the question you asked, Brooks made some big plays down the stretch. Like, Maddie made some big defensive plays. So it's not just me and Boo. Everybody's doing what they got to do. It's really a team effort. But, yeah, we just got to do what we got to do to win, whatever it takes.
After Brooks made a layup to give y'all the lead 62-61, it looked like you kind of like turned around and screamed something to the team with under 3 minutes remaining. Do you remember what you said in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the last 3 minutes, well, last 4 minutes of the game and the first 4 minutes of the game, or the first four, I mean, those are the 2 4-minute segments that are the most important. So, you know, starting those first 4 minutes is you have to do a really good job of, and ending the game in the last 4 minutes. So I was screaming to my team that we need to stop. We can't keep trading buckets. We got to get a stop. When we score, they can't score, and then we got to go score again. So that's what I was yelling.
For you two, when Julian and then Ty go down and your front court's in foul trouble, how you guys as leaders look to the guys who may have not seen as many minutes and be like, okay, now it's your time to step up? What's your message to the team when those guys that you see on the court a lot are not able to play due to fouls or are heading to the locker room with injuries?
I think it's just next man up. You know, I think Nick Martinelli came in and played some huge minutes. Like, he got some really big rebounds and we needed it. And, you know, when other guys probably wouldn't have got that, who've been in the game for a while, you know, and just everybody who stepped up and did what they had to do. I think in practice it shows every day. Like, everybody works hard. Like, we have really good players and everybody's confident in themselves. And when your number's called, you just got to be ready. So I think that's what happened today.
You talked about that last 4 minutes of getting that stop, and you all clearly got that stop. They didn't score, you know, get a bucket in that last 3-minute time span. What did you both see on defense or allow you all to be so successful or just stop them on offense or their offense?
Yeah, I mean, we're just really dialed in. I mean, you know, we're seniors and we've been through a lot of games and a lot of experience. And, you know, every night in the Big Ten when you're playing, there's not going to be just blowouts. Like, that's not what happens. Every night is a war. And you know, in those last 4 minutes, like I was telling y'all, those are the most important 4 minutes. And, you know, it's, you know, win it or you lose it in those last 4 minutes. And, we were just thinking if we're up and we have the lead and they don't score, then they can't win. So that's what we really think when we're up with the lead in the late game.
After such a physical game, how do y'all what's the message to the team going on the road in like 36 hours in Nebraska?
Well, Coach said after the game, we got to. Oh snap! I'm sorry. We got to do everything we got to do to recover. We got to get with our trainer, T-Knock. He does an amazing job with us, and he really puts us through the things that we need to do to be ready to play. But I mean, just like even now, like hydrating, stretching, like we got guys with him right now, just doing whatever you got to do to, get your body right, your mind right to play again. And like you said, like with our next 2 weeks, it's going to be crazy with us missing the 2 games, but we just can't be an excuse. You got to come out and compete.
Coming out of the half, Wisconsin went on a 8-0 run. What was the message like to respond to that and make adjustments to that?
Yeah, so the message was just handling adversity, This has been one of the things that this group has focused on since the start of the season, just being able to handle adversity ever since last year, because when we get in those close games, we wouldn't always come out successful. So that was one of the main focuses this year, just handling adversity. And basketball is full of runs. It's a game full of runs, and, players are good. So if you have breakdowns, guys are going to make shots. And we came out and we had a couple breakdowns, and then we called a timeout, and we got on each other, and we just figured it out.
You guys came into the season, not a whole lot of expectations outside of your school, I'm sure. What has been the biggest difference, do you think, in this year and last year for you guys?
I think we really just don't care about all the other stuff, like what people say about us. Like we've heard literally everything in our years here, with being the worst of the worst, or we were playing well, the best of the best. So we're just kind of staying even keeled, and just we know how confident we are as individuals and as a group, and we believe in us, and that's all that really matters versus what everybody else really has to say.
Yeah, going off that, I would just add that our toughness and our grit, our will. We're a really tough team.
Any more questions? All right, that'll wrap us up. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.